Can't use my airline flying points for myself, fine, I'll leave. A friend of mine in a semiconductor manufacturing company was one of the hotshot marketing application engineers. On his own, he put together a series of seminars to show prospective users/customers the benefits of using a bunch of the company's integrated circuits in their designs. He went on to make short half-hour videos that could be viewed online. The company signed a contract with him that stated they were his property. The company was acquired by a megacorp, and their legal people evidently signed off on his contract as well. QMC. He was a big man, 6'2", 230 pounds, and in his late 50s. Also had condition that caused a considerable amount of joint pain. His job required him to fly at least once a month, but because of the frequency he could upgrade to business class or better, and the extra room helped him with the pain of traveling. The company AA card was used for all travel, and his new 30s manager decided that the company owned his frequent flyer miles and he couldn't use them to upgrade. This got rather heated, and the manager wouldn't back down. So, the company offered early retirement to certain people over 59 who'd been with them for more than X years. My friend stepped up, and got a bonus, and 2 days before the end deleted all the videos. And, he gave them a copy of the contract reminding them they were his property, also stating the company couldn't restore them from backups and use them. Several months later, he ended up contracting for his former company, introducing his videos online, and answering questions afterwards. I'm sure he was very happy with this arrangement. No travel, no boss hassles, and a nice check for each time he did it. Now to the comments. These MCs are so often due to short-sighted company management that always end up paying so much more than they were trying to cut. The airline miles are one of the perks of having to travel so much. It is insane that companies want to nickel and dime their own employees. Seriously. My dad spent my childhood flying to Japan almost every month for work. He racked up something like 1.5 million miles. If his company had tried to take those away, I have no doubt he would have quit on the spot and gone to work for a competitor. Anyone who has flown regularly for their work knows that the frequent flyer miles should belong to the traveler. It's awful having to fly to get to your job, be away from home / in a mediocre hotel, and generally be on work mode for 12 hours a day, including company / client dinners. Literally, the least a company can do is let the employees keep their miles and spend them as they choose. A long time ago, when I commuted internationally every week for work, a girl once said to me, "Wow, it must be so great getting to go overseas all the time like that." I said to her, actually, the way to really think of it is you have to go to work on Sunday afternoon. It takes you 6 hours to get there, and you're not allowed to go home again till Friday night. Then it takes you 6 hours to get back. Not to mention all the birthdays, anniversaries, kids' milestones, outings with friends, etc. you miss out on. I traveled heavily for 3 years, but put an immediate stop to it once my son was born. Never looking back. Stories like this make me so thankful for my director. I work for a cybersecurity firm, and our state director has this "hiring is impossible, for the love of God don't make me have to do it" attitude. The result is that he will happily sign off on leave, expenses, benefits, or anything that keeps people from even looking somewhere else. We have a lot of transparency at the business, and he gets significantly higher employee reviews than most departments / states. That is despite our team being one of the most insanely busy and overworked. He's a young bloke, only my age, but he's genuine and actually listens to and chases feedback from the whole team, many of whom are his senior in experience or age. Makes a world of difference. That sounds fantastic. I hope you guys let him know how much you appreciate it. A lot of younger professionals are trying to be a positive impact in the workforce, and it can be an upward battle. These old school guys with patents and copyrights in their companies. There was a story a while back about a programmer who owned every script his company uses, and sold them back after he was let go. Great stuff. This sort of thing caused quite a stir at a former company. Turns out that firing the guy who personally holds multiple patents that are essential to the company's product isn't a very winning strategy. Which company was that, if you are allowed to tell? I feel like every couple of years, when you hire a consultant to find cost-cutting ways, this is always one of the dumbest solutions. My company did it and everyone would just give their FF cards to the travel agent at check-in. They always wondered why it never really worked. They abandoned the program after 3 months. What can a company even do with airline miles? Do they use them somehow, or are they just trying to be dicks and not let you have them? Our local airline lets you spend air points on an online shop. You could buy wine, iPads, laptops, clothes, etc., as well as actual flights. Probably was able to charge a lot more as a contractor too. Most definitely. I mean, their only other option is to hire a different contractor to basically start all over again or try and take him to court. Both would probably cost significantly more than just rehiring this guy. In pre-pandemic years, I would typically travel 150k miles per year by air, and most of that was typically staying within my own country. It was not uncommon for me to sleep 300 nights a year in hotel beds. The airline points, hotel points, and rental car points made family vacations pretty much free. If my employer wanted to take away my points, I would expect equivalent compensation. As I see it, it was my butt sitting on each flight. I earned those points. I was staying 4 nights a week for a previous employer. At one point, the PM started booking under her name instead of ours. We raised hell and it was changed the next week. One of the guys sent an email, we all conspired to each send an email, that asked for equal compensation, like you said. Then he later found out they were ducking us over or not for 6 months. We thought we were exempt. He emailed a photo of his contract to the entire company with the section circled on red marker. When the PM tried to deny it, oh, we meant to change that, we can't pay it. I like that guy. This MC makes the same point that others have. If companies really want to save money, they should slash a couple of layers of management. So many times, it's not even that management isn't doing enough to make things better, it's just that they continually do stuff that actively makes things worse. All they have to do is not do anything. He used the miles on the company card to upgrade the company seat on a company-mandated business trip. Even if he didn't own them, they were being used for a company employee in a company setting, so there shouldn't have been any reason to not allow him to use the upgrade. That's like saying you're not the owner of your vacation hours. I'm not saying I agree with manager or who owned them, I'm saying that even based of their ridiculous logic, they should have been usable by the employee. Great story, not malicious compliance. I never brought it up, but I would sometimes wonder how points received on tickets bought on travel with government grant money go to an individual citizen for private use. Just something I occasionally felt a little curious about, as it comes up pretty often. Be lucky you don't live in Sweden. There you have to pay roughly 50% tax of the value of the trip if you use points from your company miles. That's even if you use your personal bonus card. Authorities did a raid on all major airlines and went through thousands of trips paid for by miles to see if the miles were earned in a company and the trip was private. And the value of the trip is not the discounted price. It's the highest fare for that route. The state is practically stealing your miles straight off, and you gave to pay full price, just not to the airline.